Alright, and now the audio recording. Alright, and we are live. Hello.
Woohoo!
Hello.
Hello.
So I'm here with Shu and Justin Anda. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for helping me out with this interview thing. You guys are great.
That's alright.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
So the first thing I want you guys to do is, I guess, starting with Justin, since you are the musician that the first time I met you, I guess you should introduce yourself first.
I am Justin Anda. I am from Sydney, Australia, and I'm a singer-songwriter. I like writing songs, putting them out there. Yeah, that's me.
Alright, and now the last but not least, the most special guest of this evening. Okay.
Hi.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Chu, and I'm actually from Jakarta, Indonesia, but now I'm based in Melbourne, and I'm a singer, songwriter, producer, but I also do a little bit of dancing on the side.
Woo! Alright, that's cool. So obviously, you guys, first time you guys met is through online, if I'm not wrong.
Yes,
Alright,
precise.
tell me a bit about that and what gives you the idea to, oh, we should start a collab when you guys first met.
Do you want to start off, Justin?
Sure. We met through a online jam session that our friend set up for us because he knew that the both of us were musicians, and I've been involved with some projects that he's done, some web series that he did called Avramlands, which is like a fantasy-based thing, and on the side he would run these talent nights where I would perform some songs of mine, some covers and things like that, and then at the same time, around that point, he was talking with Shu as well, and one day he was like, "Yo, the both of you should definitely perform at the same time online." And we're like, "That's never been done before on this platform for the both of us, so it would be so cool if we did something like this." And so we met. I mean, this was the first time that we've met on call, but before that we have like texted each other. We knew what we sounded like, but this was the first time we were going to do anything musical together. And when we were performing, but the both of us were absolutely shocked, and with how amazing, like, we were both talented and well versed we were musically. And I think it was me originally. I was like, "Oh yeah, do you want to be a feature on my third album?" But then eventually I was like, "No, this is too good. We need to write a song together." So that's how that started. I remember first hearing Shu's voice, and I teared up a bit. So that's how I knew in the get-go. So yeah.
It was a really exciting moment, as I haven't had much of like opportunities in meeting fellow musicians, and actually before I even started speaking with him, I have already maybe I have had already like taken a look at his portfolio, like the music that he had put out already, and I was just like, yep, he's a musician and I admire his music, and I was like, yeah, I want to work with this guy. But then it was just a passing thought. It was just like, oh, he's also like from Australia, and at the time I was still in Jakarta, and I was like, yeah, maybe it's a little bit of a reach, but maybe it'll happen. And yeah, we're here now. We have released a thing together and many more to go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of releases, a few months ago you guys finally released your long-awaited single as collaborators. It's called Dizzy, which I think I'm gonna edit in this interview.
Definitely.
Yes.
Which I have to say is a really, really good song. Like, it's not because I'm your brother or something. I actually really like the song. It's really good.
Thank
So
Thank you very much.
Okay, listen.
It's a white noise rushing through my head.
A shock that terrifies my mind, and it echoes your voice, and it's shaking me up from the inside.
So when you're recording Dizzy, you guys are in two different countries. True, you are in Jakarta, Indonesia, and Justin, you are in Australia. I just really want to know, like, what struggles does that do you guys experience when you record that, and what do you want to say to people that want to make music but just can't really, you know, give have themselves a motivation to, oh, I really want to write this now, because you guys did it like hundreds of miles, thousands of miles away. Meanwhile, there are some people that already have access to like microphones and laptops, and they still can't make music. So, what do you guys say to that? And what are your hardships when you're making a song? That's it.
Oh, I want to
You can
start.
go first. Yeah, you can go first. Sri.
First of all, one of the major hardships were time zones.
Of course.
At
Yeah.
the time, we were 4 hours apart, like because of daylight savings, and it was quite a struggle to like balance out the time because I'm usually like very much active later in the night. Like I don't know why, but my creative juices, I'd say that I'd have more ideas and like I'd be more, I don't know, more empowered when I work at night.
Oh yeah.
But my night would be Justin's like midnight or even like 2 a.m. in the morning. So it's like it was a bit of a struggle in terms of
Yeah.
scheduling. And of course, as musicians, we've experienced many times of like writer's block.
Oh yeah.
And it was supposed to be released way earlier than it was released, and the major problem was trying to, for me at least, it was trying to come up with something like lyrics that make sense, and then like something that really encapsulates the theme of the song itself. And since it's my first ever major project, I really had the push to just make the best out of this one. So it took me quite a bit of time in order to do that.
Alright.
As for the people who feel like they don't have the push just yet to start doing music, or at least try to finish their ideas and their like creative visions, I feel like the one thing that you should do is just do something about it.
Okay.
Like, of course, you'd think of it. You'd always think of it. Like, oh, this is such a good idea. Write it down. Don't just let it be a passing thought. Like,
Right.
write it down, and then when you have free time, try to add a little bit more. And then just, if you know how to work around like DAWs, digital audio workstations, try to come up with like melodies, and then just write down and chuck it in there, like everything that you have in your mind. Because if you only keep it inside of your head, how is it going to be like come alive, basically? Those are just going to be ideas that are wasted. So in order to actually make it right, you need to do something. Just like the simplest of things, just write it down. Just experiment around. You don't have to like come up with like 5 different sections and chords right away. No, just step by step. Nobody ever does that, or at least I don't think so. So yeah,
Start with baby steps. Starts with baby steps.
baby steps. Yeah, because if you lose all of those ideas,
Yeah.
you're just going to be more upset that you have nothing to present, or
Yes.
at least to do.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
if you like immediately put all of your ideas into one, and then you will be more disappointed of how it turns out later, because
Yeah.
you find out, oh, maybe my idea is not good, but that's our own fault because we just forced ourselves to put those ideas into this one thing that it should be like separate ideas. Yeah, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
No, that's so right though, because a lot of the times ideas that you'd never think are your best ideas when you look into them further and deeper. I'm pretty sure that like all of us as musicians have really had those moments where like that's not good. Then we come back to it like maybe 2 weeks later and we're like, this is the best thing I've ever come up with. Yeah, so that's the beauty of being a creative, being like a songwriter, just being someone who likes to explore experimentation, as you said, Shu. It's a great thing.
Yeah, like I for me personally, even when I'm in the bathroom and there's like a melody that pops up in my head, like, ooh, okay, no matter what I'd be doing at that moment, I would grab my phone, open the voice
Yeah.
app, and then record it. No matter how like trashy it sounds, I would
Yes.
record it, and then I know I'd come back to it sometime. Like no matter where I am, I'd drop everything. Maybe I'm in a public bathroom. I've done that. I've literally done that. I'd be like, and then done.
Yeah, there's a couple of songs that I'm working on that I came up with in the shower on a voice memo probably 2 years ago, and they're only being produced now.
Yeah. Like speaking of voice
Those-
memos, I just opened up my voice memos and I decided to like listen to like the first recording I've ever recorded on my phone, and it's basically just
Right.
There you go. There you go.
It's just like random stuff, like random melodies, or like a drum fill. Like, oh, that sounds good.
hmm
like me personally, I like to sing my drums, so even the bass I would go like boom 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 boom.
Boom, boom.
Yeah,
This is
it
great.
sounds silly, but when you actually put it in the dot, you're like, oh, this is not bad.
Mm-hmm. And then you have like 10 different versions of it. Like it went from A to XYZ. It's totally different. It's totally different.
But adding on to what Shu said about not being able to put out your stuff at first, there's another thing that a lot of songwriters I've realized. I've talked to a lot of musicians, aspiring and very experienced, and a common theme that seems to be happening with a lot of creatives in general is a lot of self-doubt and a lot of comparison with other established creators. So a lot of the time they'll be like, "Oh, it's not good enough." I mean, look at what Jacob Collier's doing right now. I could never, reach that standard. You don't have to. It's the thing that is still really intact about creative stuff is how subjective it is. It's like it's a lot of the time for me personally, I make things not because I want to make it good. It's just because I want to make music that I want to hear.
Yeah.
And also at the same time, like, the reason why I put it out is because I like it, not because someone's gonna like it. I just put stuff that I made that I like. I mean, like, my first album I've ever put out, hate that stuff now, but at the time I liked it, so that's why I'm proud that it's there, But really, it's all down to really being confident in your work, and that's what really pushes people up, because they're willing to just put themselves out there and let anything come through, and it's a great thing when you finally have that embrace with yourself and just give things a try because you want to. It's what you say. It's what you want.
But speaking of your albums, Justin, so you have already released, I think, 2 albums.
Yes,
alright.
2 albums and 1 EP.
So
yeah.
obviously there's a song, "Sweet Surrender," which of course I loved, and of course "Rose." But when you compare those songs to Dizzy, you can really hear like this musical evolution that you decided to try a new sound instead of like the stuff that you used to sing. This is like something new, something more. Not, I would say the sound is more adult than your previous albums. But what really made you what gives you the idea that, oh, I really want to try this? I think like R&B stuff. Right? Yeah. What makes you really want to dive into that genre, but and decided to leave that genre of your previous albums behind with you?
Ooh. First of all, I just want to say, that's a really good question. That got me thinking. And number two,
Thank you.
of course. And number two, with what you're saying about how I'm progressing from one sound to another, about me trying new things and then leaving another genre and stuff like that, you're gonna be surprised with how different my next single that I'm working on right now sounds like in comparison to Dizzy. You're gonna be like, "Ooh, wait," so it's gonna be great. I'd say what really made me want to give that a shot is, I think with Dizzy in particular, it was more like me and Shu, back when we were kind of like going back and forth about what we wanted to do, we would share with each other these styles that we like to listen to. And what I realize is that a lot of the stuff that I listen to is R&B type 90s stuff, or 2000s R&B as well, and things like that. But it was something that I never really tapped into, because a lot of the time I would make more things that I'm comfortable with making, but also with things that I'm used to making, like synth stuff or maybe more pop rock vibes. But with something like R&B, it was something that I never really tapped into because I never really had the context to. So with Shu added into the picture, it made more sense for me to give that a shot, because if it was just me, it would feel a bit weird in a sense. It was like, oh, this isn't really Justin Anda. It's kind of the same thing with how I was with Sweet Surrender when I was talking with Red Crimson, Quinfinity, and the Black Mist. We all, for me, I kind of like thought about what they listened to as what we talked about. So Quinfinity is more of like the hip hop, funk, and jazz. He's very well versed in his jazz knowledge. And then Red Crimson is very good with hip hop as well, a lot of funky stuff. And then the Black Mist is full on jazz as well. So I wanted to find sounds that they knew, and then revert that to my style as well and how it would work and everything. As for something like Rosé, it was just something that I was listening to in the present moment. A lot of my songs sound like what I listened to at that present time. So with Rosé, I'm pretty sure I was listening to a lot of like 80s dad rock, glam rock, ballad, Elton John stuff. So, you know, it was like that. So I guess for a little bit of a game that you can play, the music that I'm listening to a lot right now is music by Benny Sings. So look out for that.
All right.
Yeah.
Right. So speaking of music that you listen to, I really want to ask, I guess Shu first. What artist did you listen to that makes you go like, oh wow, I really want to be like this musician, or like, oh, I want to make a song like this? Do you have any specific artist that you like really look up to?
Okay, funnily enough, this by far has been the hardest question that I always need to answer, because this specific question came up during my interview for another university, and I was just lost.
Oh.
Because I look up to so many artists, but as of now, I am currently actively listening to Cannons, this band from the US, and I recently just had the chance to see them perform live. And their sound is more of a like synth pop, 80s synth pop influence, electro pop, and it's not necessarily what I've been listening to, but I've just started to discover them last year through this channel, Vivo Discover, and I was like, oh yeah, yes, this is what like kind of music that I want to make. And other than that, there would be Ray.
Yes.
He's a British soloist, and she's just amazing. Actually, Justin and I had just recently watched her performance in Royal Albert Hall.
So good.
It was so good. And the first time I listened to her album, her first ever album, I just fell in love immediately with how it sounds, and it has, again, definitely influenced my sound. Another one would be Licky Lee.
Oh, yeah.
I love her style. And one of the most notable mentions would be Nikki, our very own Indonesian
Okay.
female soloist. So, but all in all, each and every one of them have different perks and styles that I have adapted to my own music. And yeah, I can't really say that I have an ultimate one, because the combination of all of these singers and bands, they shaped my music listening habits into like this ball of like randomness. It's just
Yeah.
it's just like a combination. It's just like es campur, the Indonesian dessert. You just combine everything and it tastes good. It's
Yes.
the same.
Yeah.
You just combine everything. And there's one more, actually, an honorable mention. This American metal band called I Prevail.
Oh.
They were my top artists on Spotify last year, and yet I don't make metal at all. However, their lyrics and the narrative in their songs, they have definitely influenced me in terms of like creating my own song, like the songwriting aspect of me, like doing my songs.
Okay.
So it's just little bits and pieces of each singer's or band's like elements that I adapt. And yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's really good answer, because I also get questions about that a lot, but I always go back to like the one musician that always makes me cry when I listen to him, and it's Paul McCartney. You get
Oh,
you get
dude.
like a full package of him. Like, you get the experimental, the talent, the vocals, like everything. Like he even invented metal. So yeah. I mean, what better musician to support than the one who literally invents one of the most popular genres ever? Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, my uni friend just saw him today, live in Sydney.
Oh man, I'm so jealous.
One day.
But I don't know, if I see him, I will probably like break down and cry, because I just can't. Even like seeing him through my screen like makes me want to tear up, because yeah.
Noted. Totally not noting it down for future purposes if I have money. Take Abe to Paul McCartney's concert.
It-
Check.
You know what? The cheapest ticket is £3,000. So go ahead.
Yo!
Go ahead.
I mean, if I win a Grammy one day,
I mean.
We're gonna make that happen, Shu.
Amen.
gonna make that
Amen.
happen.
Alright.
For me, when it comes to artists,
Look at her shirt.
yeah, this guy,
Oh yeah.
Rex Orange County, back in 2017, I was listening to his music in high school in 2017, but it didn't really push me until 2019, because the year before, that's when I was starting music like for the first time as an actual class. And when we did songwriting, I was like, yo, yeah, I think I should write like Rex Orange County, because already at the time the way I would sing was like him and stuff like that. So a lot of my sound is inspired by him. My lyricism, the way I sing, I owe it all to Rex. Another artist that was seen by us, Shu and I got to see him too, live in Sydney. Was it last month? It was last month, right? Yes, it was last month. Yeah, it was an insane experience. He noticed me too, which was something like for my history books. But yeah, Rex Orange County is my sound because of mostly his instrumentation is very unique in a way that it's like I don't know, it blends so many sounds together, kind of like what Shu was talking about. And for our equivalent, halo halo, which is a Filipino dessert where you mix different things together and it tastes so good.
Okay.
We got that going on. And yeah, as for past and few, at the moment, I'd say music at all. It was Michael Jackson
Oh,
when he was young.
that's
Jackson 5 era
that's-
Michael Jackson was
that's an awesome answer right
definitely
there. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, that was like, if you see me perform now, I still move like the way he did when he was a kid. Like
Yeah.
you'll see it a lot. And at the moment, Zach the Budlo is my guy.
Okay.
He is a Filipino artist, OPM, original Philippine music. He makes pop, rock music, and he's been one of my main inspirations at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my artists.
Okay. But there's like something that I'm embarrassed to admit is like I say Paul McCartney, but with you being influenced by Rex, like your singing voice, it's a bit embarrassing for me to say that my singing voice is influenced by the Jonas Brothers. Like that's like the very different from the Beatles.
Valid.
Like when I first
There's
listened to
vocals.
Nick Jonas, I was like, man, this guy has a unique
Mm.
voice. And then I tried to sing like him for the first few months, and I was like, I'm gonna get it, but after a while, I just get used to it, and then yeah, it's hard to like stop doing the thing now with my voice.
Mm,
Yeah.
And Big Time Rush.
Yes, Big Time Rush. Oh.
I know you.
Big Time Rush is like my top boy band. So it's Big Time Rush, EXO, and then the rest is just like down here. Okay, so I guess that completes our conversation today. I really want to thank you guys again for helping me with this, and I'm going to start with Shu this time. You can plug your social media, your Spotify, whatever you want to plug.
Okay, so you can find me on Spotify under the name Shu, or you can go to Justin Anda's profile and press the track Dizzy, that you can see my name there. Click it, and then please give me a follow, as I am planning to release more music real soon.
Can we get a teaser of what that music is? Maybe
Sorry?
Can we get a teaser? Maybe an EP? Maybe an album?
Hmm. And that,
Maybe 2 albums.
who knows? But all
Shoe
of
word
that,
domination.
but but all of that will be posted on my Instagram, and that would be at It's Shu Music. And you can also find me on YouTube, and all of my other links, my SoundCloud, my Spotify, and my YouTube channel, all in the bio section of my Instagram page. So give me a follow, and yeah, you can expect releases real soon. I'm
More things
working
to come.
hard on that.
More things to come. Can't wait.
More things to come. Good things to come.
Alright, Justin, take it away.
You can find me on anywhere you want. The easiest way is Google Justin Anda, ANDA. On Instagram, I am at Justin Anda Music. On YouTube, I am also Justin Anda. I'm also on Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, wherever you find your music, I'm there. Where else am I?
TikTok.
Oh yeah,
TikTok.
TikTok. Oh, that's one. I need to get back to that
I didn't even
platform.
remember to ask you about that. You went viral on TikTok.
I did.
Alright.
I went viral on my birthday.
Alright, we
It
don't
was
have
so
time to get into that, but I'm gonna play the viral video at the end of this interview.
yes, please. There. But yeah, that's where you can find me. I have new music coming soon. In around a month's time, I have a new single that I'll call "The Best Way" coming out. You're gonna love that one. If you love Rex Orange County, if you love Benny Sings, you're gonna love that song. And yeah, I can't wait to put new stuff, new album in the works, new EP, new everything. You'll see it there.
Alright, I guess that's it for us. I'm gonna thank you guys again and see you. Goodbye.
Thank you, Abe.
Thank you.
And